Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up, by leaving a comment, by clicking subscribe if you haven't already done so, or by telling me what you had for breakfast. It does help with the algorithms. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. You're gonna see a bit of a trend in this video because something happened over the weekend and now everybody won't stop talking about it. Ethereum, the world's second largest cryptocurrency, registered an all-time high on Monday as the Ether price jumped more than 20% in the last 48 hours. Ethereum reached a new high of 1470, that is 1,470 US dollars, in the Asian session on the 25th of January. According to the latest data, Ethereum now has a market cap of more than 160 billion US dollars. As of writing, the price of Ethereum is trading near 1430 after jumping nearly 15% in the last 24 hours. The overall market cap of the cryptocurrency assets reached $1 trillion on Monday. Bitcoin, the world's largest cryptocurrency, is consolidating near 33,000 after posting a drop of nearly 10% in the last 7 days. Bitcoin's dominance in the crypto market has dropped below 63%. For the first time since October 2020. All the news everywhere is about Ethereum. Cryptocurrency targets 1,500. Ethereum eyes 1,500. Altcoins gain. Bitcoin stable. Ethereum all-time high pushes staked Ether to $4 billion. Michael Novogratz is saying that Ethereum, or he's targeting, or looks like Ethereum is targeting, $2,600 per coin. We're getting news about Ethereum all over the place. I was quite shocked. Normally, you know which coin it's about. It's always about lumens. See, that was a joke because it's never about lumens. It's usually always just about Bitcoin. Sometimes you'll see like a sprinkle of Cardano. You see some XRP doing this news, or you may see like EOS once in a while, very rare, very randomly. Being in some type of price action news, but everything this morning was just about Ethereum. Ethereum price uptrend upstarted, swing past 1,400 while $2,000 beckons. Technical analysis. Ethereum surges to new all-time high, while Ethereum could rally further above 1,500. We were like $35 away from 1,500. So the amount of websites talking about, oh, it looks like we could pass 1,500 is kind of annoying because we were clearly aiming for $1,500. For those of you who don't know, Ethereum has been popular and is going to continue to be popular. And I've told you this many other times before. We've had a number of articles discussing, is this coin going to pass by Ethereum? Is this going to pass by Ethereum? Could this No, Ethereum is going to remain exactly where it is. It's going to continue to get stronger as it has the network effect, and tons of people are pushing their money into it. It looks like as if, according to numbers, that Ethereum could be potentially, no one knows, trying to target anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 to potentially $15,000 this year. I'm saying $8,000 to $10,000 as a more conservative, which I know is not conservative at all, given that our cryptocurrency space is quite wacky when it comes to prices. But the attention has definitely, the word isn't shifted. I think people, it's kind of the same exact thing with the, remember when Bitcoin was at 3,000, nobody wanted it. Bitcoin was at 5,000, nobody touched it. Bitcoin was at 7,000, yeah, I don't want any Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit 11,000, people went, what's that over there? Bitcoin hit 20,000, and then everybody wanted Bitcoin at 20,000 as opposed to the 3,000 they could have had it at before. I think the lowest that we saw Ethereum during the drop down in prices was $100. And now that it's near 1,500, well, now it has some value. Now it sparkles a little bit more, as opposed to having been able to gather it up. I talked about it when it dropped super low. I was like, I'm pretty sure people are going to start gathering it because you need 32 Ether to be able to stake by yourself. What's this one say? Ethereum rockets to new all-time high despite apathy in Bitcoin price. This one says Ethereum hits new all-time high with multiple on-chain milestones, liquidity shortfalls, and DeFi optimism. Just while Bitcoin continues to consolidate, Ethereum leads the crypto market rally, making a solid 15% surge and hitting a new all-time high. It said it's not just investor optimism that's driving the Ether price rally at the moment. In fact, Ethereum has smashed multiple milestones with its on-chain fundamentals getting even stronger. In Ethereum, liquidity at exchanges dropping off faster than expected. I mentioned this before, and I'm going to say this again until everyone really gets it into their head. It's not the fact that Tron is quicker. It's not the fact that Cardano can do more. It's not the fact that XRP might have a system on their platform where you could run DeFi and stuff like that. It's that Ethereum has been around for longer than all of these other coins and has gathered the attention and has more people on its network. It's about network strength. People are okay to say it's fine if our transactions take a little bit longer because of the network strength of Ethereum, the amount of money that's being pushed into Ethereum, and the amount of, I guess, sheer number of partnerships. If you have never seen it before, because we haven't really spoken about it because it hasn't really been in the news as much lately, there's something called the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. Type in Enterprise Ethereum Alliance partners. You should get a good list of about 600 companies who came into existence, or rather announced around 2017, 2018 that they would be using, developing on, building inside of, integrating Ethereum in some sort of way. And it's not small companies. These are mega, ultra, gigantimous companies who Ethereum has the backing of, if you kind of want to even put it in that direction. Ethereum is going to be around for a very long time, and we are probably going to hit those all-time high numbers because the momentum is not going to slow down. That much I can promise you. Right from Ether non-zero addresses, that is the amount of addresses that no longer have zero, they now have coins inside of them, to Ethereum retail holders, that's everyday normal people, to Ethereum whale addresses, those are big addresses. All have smashed past new all-time highs. Moreover, investor confidence in Ethereum continues to surge as Ethereum 2.0 deposit contracts also hit a new all-time high, approaching $3 billion worth of Ether being locked up. As popular crypto Twitter handle Blockport has reported, here are a few are where, that makes no sense, on-chain fundamentals for Ethereum have significantly improved. So the Ethereum addresses with more than a tenth of Ether have gone up. Addresses with more than 10,000 Ether, Ethereum 2.0 deposit addresses, non-zero addresses, realized price, realized market cap, and I'm sure there are tons of other metrics as well. Ethereum is gaining steam, and it's also very nice for the cryptocurrency market. I mentioned this many moons ago. Long time ago, everything was just tied to Bitcoin. Ethereum came around, Ethereum gained popularity around 2016, 2017, and started having crypto pairs, not the fruit, pairings, there we go, tied to Ethereum. And now every single coin is tied to Bitcoin and is also tied to Ethereum as well. So when Bitcoin does well, the market goes up, but also when Ethereum does well, the market also does well as well because it's also tied to every other coin. Especially when Ethereum does well, we tend to see the hundreds of coins that are built on top of it, all the DeFi coins and everything else, tend to do well as well because their network that they're built on is also doing well. So at the moment, yeah, all the news, I mean, really, it was kind of insane. All the price news was just around Ethereum. Couldn't really find anything else about any other coin price-wise. I assume that'll eventually pop up should we have some coin going up by 47%. It always happens kind of randomly. And it says, analyst gives 3 reasons why $1.6 billion in Ether just left exchanges. It's basically, they think that people are staking themselves, which is probably true. People are noticing more and more, thank the goodness, that they don't have to have their coins on cryptocurrency exchanges. They can be taken off. You can be your own crypto custodian. More money is flowing into DeFi at a rapid rate, and you have to lock up your Ether in order to be able to do stuff on the DeFi network and yada, yada, yada. I'm sure there's also stuff with people wrapping other coins. What was the other one? It was DeFi. Oh, and also staking. More people are staking, and it is believed that institutions are probably buying up large amounts of Ether as well so that they can stake themselves. Once again, we are talking about a situation where I think the craziest one, the craziest one that we've seen was an Ethereum price of $100,000, but that's over the course of like 10 to 15 years. That's the crazy one that I can remember seeing off the top of my head. And having 32 Ether, even having less and being able to get passive income from just holding that coin is quite significant. And of course, institutions, and I'm sure normal people, are also going to want to do the exact same thing. So yeah, hot topic today. really all over the place. Was quite shocked just how popular it was. Anyway, that's all the Ethereum news. And without further ado, let's moving on. Oh my gosh, I'm so shocked that this is in the news. It says Bitcoin has seen some volatility over the past few weeks. The cryptocurrency bounced between $30,000 and $40,000, even falling below the former level at one point in a move that scared bulls. It didn't scare anyone. It scared new people in the market. I promise you, those were the only people who were scared. It's the people who got into the market because they saw that the market was going up. They wanted to make some quick cash and be able to brag to their friends that they had become a millionaire. And when the price started falling down, they got terrified. No one else. Unfazed by recent market volatility, data shows that institutional players, very rich people, have been adding to their Bitcoin positions. Wow, I am so shocked. I cannot believe it. According to crypto data aggregator Blockport, Grayscale Investments, a Wall Street digital asset manager, added Bitcoin worth $118 million in the past day. This adds up to $1 billion that Grayscale has bought for its clients over the past 7 days. That's right, boys and girls. In one day, $118 million, I believe it was last Wednesday, they purchased, $600 million. The only people who are selling are the new people in the market, the people who are terrified, the people who do not understand what they are buying. They do not understand that Bitcoin is immutable, that Bitcoin is not controlled by anyone, that Bitcoin is being used by governments and being gobbled up by governments, that Bitcoin is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with no downtime, that Bitcoin has a lot of hate, but Bitcoin remains hyper resilient. These are the only people who are selling off their coins. And when that sell happens, institutions also know, hey, we can also sell a little bit more as well to drop the market. And when the market drops, guess who buys back all those coins at a very, very low price? In a week, Grayscale has purchased $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. If you know, you know at this point. I know a lot of you, much like me, I'm sure, are still getting friends and family members texting you, hey, what's this thing I saw on CNBC? Can I make some money from that? Not really understanding. And the only reason you understand, think about this. Think of how much your world and your mind has changed. It may not seem like it to you over the past year, the past 2 years, the past 3 years. You now understand economic policies. You now understand that money, paper money, is just simply printed at will, whenever they want. You understand the purpose of Bitcoin, why Bitcoin's so strong, who's been getting into Bitcoin. So I know it's quite annoying when someone new tries to get into the market and they ask you all these questions and it's impossible to give them 3 years of information at once. You understand why all this is so strong and why the institutions are getting into it, because you have years worth of knowledge that other people simply do not have. Eventually, they will have that knowledge, but it'll also take them 2 to 3 years. And at that point, they'll be giving that knowledge on to someone else and continue on to someone else. But you are an early adopter. The point is, in a week, here's the actual chart right here for Grayscale's holdings of Bitcoin. Kind of crazy, no? It's really insane to see this all happening. Anyway, I won't spend your time on it. I'm done. Anyway, Grayscale added $1 billion. And that's just Grayscale. Just imagine the other institutions who were using their bots to be able to play the market. Remember, I will never ever forget this. MicroStrategy purchased, was it $1 billion worth of Bitcoin? Was it 700 million? Doesn't even matter. MicroStrategy with 88,000 automated trades. You'd better believe that same exact thing is happening right now amongst people who trade, who are trying to get as much as they can without moving the market. Anyway, that's all the Grayscale news. And without further ado, let's move on. What? That's crazy. While the price of Bitcoin has been consolidating just above $30,000, on-chain data shows that when the price dropped to $28,800, Bitcoin whales bought the dip. What? Statics. from Glassnode's web portal shows that the number of addresses with more than 1,000 Bitcoin has spiked after hitting the price bottom. That's crazy. So you mean to tell me they bought when the price dropped? I cannot believe it. That is so crazy. I saw the last couple of days on Twitter, anywhere on the internet, a few articles, really. It was articles and just people kind of discussing, like, was Bitcoin going to go back up? Like, is this it? Is this as high as we're going to go? We're not going to go any higher. I thought people were talking about we were going to go higher. Sometimes it annoys me to hear things like that, but other times the word isn't pity, but it's like, geez Louise, man, get a grip. Once again, rich people are buying up all the Bitcoin that there is. We are seeing the actual liquidity crunch right now. We see that the amount of Bitcoin on cryptocurrency exchanges continues to dwindle. They see that there's a sell-off happening. They buy it all up, what's on the exchanges, and then they take it off the exchanges to put into their back pocket or wherever there's, keeping their Bitcoin. But just be aware, when dips happen, they are buying. Every time you sell, there is a buyer. And we know who the buyers are. It's the people who are buying $1 billion worth of Bitcoin in 7 days. 7 days. 7 days. That's a week. 1 week. One company. Anyway, that's the whale news. Because whales keep buying. And without further ado, let's move on. So this is kind of a continuation of something else that we were talking about before. Last week it was noted that Michael Saylor is going to be doing like a digital Bitcoin conference where he's going to be, or wanted to, the point was, bam. He said that he was going to start a digital conference where he was going to allow institutional grade investors, big, gigantic corporations, to be able to talk with him and discuss with him the prospectus of Bitcoin and holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet and why it was important for them. So basically what's happened is Michael Saylor, I even just read the tweet. It says, wow. Michael Saylor, total Bitcoin animal on CNBC just now, saying he is hosting in early February a Bitcoin conference for corporate leaders to explain the Bitcoin value proposition. Also will make publicly available his company execution playbook. Thousands of people to attend. So the news was, and it's quite popular right now, is that apparently thousands of people are going to be attending his conference. The important part is that it's not just normal people, if you will. It's executives, officers, directors, and advisors of corporations. Thousands of them. I'm going to assumption. If this is happening in early February, end of February, early March, we might see another spike in price simply based off of logic. If thousands of people are going to be attending, that means they are interested. If you get at least 50 of those companies out of around 2,000, it says thousands, so I assume that is over 1,000. If you get 50 of those companies who have a huge amount of money on their balance sheet who are willing to put 10, 15, 20 million dollars into the market, well, then the market starts going up. The market starts going up, normal people start buying back in, and the flow continues. Anyway, that's the continuation of that news, just for, sure, why not? And without further ado, let's move. I keep like slamming my nose into the microphone, and I guess it's just going to be there forever. All right, let's move on. In third time's a charm, that doesn't make any sense. Valkyrie Digital Assets has filed an application on Friday for a Bitcoin exchange traded fund, or an ETF, becoming the second company to do so in a month. According to Dallas-registered Valkyrie Digital Assets, the Valkyrie Bitcoin Trust would be listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and Coinbase Custody Trust Company, LLC, would serve as the custodian for the proposed exchange-traded fund. Something must have happened behind the scenes that we are going to hear about very, very soon. It is now VanEck, the CBOE, was it the CME as well? And now we have Valkyrie, who have put in their bids for a Bitcoin ETF. The news being that a Bitcoin ETF is going to cause Bitcoin to skyrocket and surge in price because it will allow institutional investors and other investors who may not be comfortable with holding Bitcoin themselves to be able to have exposure to Bitcoin in some sort of way. It'll also cause people who are running the funds to be able to lock up certain amounts of Bitcoin. The bigger the fund becomes, the more Bitcoin gets locked inside of it. And once one fund gets launched, they can simply copy and paste what the other one wrote and start doing their own. I think the last piece of the puzzle is just to hear that the Winklevoss twins are doing it. The former head of the SEC rejected every single Bitcoin ETF. He is now gone. The news that we got before was that apparently the new head of the SEC is going to be quite crypto-friendly. There would be no reason for all these ETF proposals to be kind of pushed through, but the rapidness, is rapidity a word? I feel like it's a word, of all that stuff happening is quite interesting. Anyway, here's the actual filing with the US SEC for the Valkyrie Bitcoin Fund. Don't have to go through all of it. Just in case you wanted to read it. It's like 100,000 pages. Anyway, cool. Wonderful. And one of these is going to get pushed through at some point. And I guess someone who likes Bitcoin is probably going to push one through. If we get one of these pushed through, expect a $100,000 Bitcoin very fast. Immediately fast. Like hyper fast. Like scary fast. Almost like, oh, the price went up a little bit too much today. Kind of fast. Anyway, that's the ETF news. I'm sure another company is going to, by Friday, I am certain they will have come out of the woodworks. Cool. Wonderful. Let's move on. Next up, Jack Dorsey's in the news. Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, is a noted fan of Bitcoin's use of decentralization to strengthen the blockchain network. Now, Dorsey's plan to build a decentralized standard for social media is starting to take shape with contributions from Protocol Labs, the company that produced the censorship-resistant interplanetary file system and distributed storage network Filecoin. So apparently, there's now an initiative called Blue Sky that Dorsey is backing. We've had news before last year that Dorsey, first of all, for those of you who do not know, the CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, loves Bitcoin. And I don't mean like slightly loves it. I mean like he's mad for it. He thinks that Bitcoin is going to be the only currency on the planet. He thinks that Bitcoin will be used for everything and that things built on top of Bitcoin will be the jabba. You get the idea. So he said last year that he was even thinking of trying to find a way to decentralize Twitter. And I assume Blue Sky is probably going to be the step in that direction. Yeah, the world's getting crazy out there. So I wonder what, first of all, if Dorsey does launch Blue Sky as a platform, anything else that's going to try and match it is going to be completely crushed almost immediately. So we'll see. I give it a couple of months. Jack Dorsey is, I want to say, a man of his word. So we'll probably be seeing a new social media platform pop up anytime soon, and just gonna throw this out there. Voice, anytime you can step in. People from Voice, EOS, you can launch your platform anytime, because if Blue Sky launches before, like officially launches before Voice will have no voice. Just gonna throw that out there. Anyway, that's the Jack Dorsey crypto Twitter decentralized Twitter file system news. Blue picture. Let's move on. In news that's really making me think that this is going to take off in the next 2 to 3 years. OKCoin Exchange has announced today that it is integrating the Lightning Network, with users expected to reap the benefits sometime in Q1 of 2021. For those of you who do not know what the Lightning Network is, who may be relatively brand new, it is another layer of Bitcoin. It's a side chain, it's whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. It's basically a place where your Bitcoin transactions go through a lot cheaper and a lot quicker. These benefits include transactions that take seconds rather than minutes or hours, and significantly lowers fees and minimum withdrawals. In a blog post, the exchange stated that the integration will also reduce our current minimum withdrawal deposit from 0.01 Bitcoin, 100,000 Satoshis, to just 100 Satoshis. The idea being is that in the future, we would be using Lightning as the actual payment method when we want to pay. The transaction fees are typically 1 Satoshi, so it's absolutely nothing. And you can send any amount of Bitcoin. One of the criticisms, yes, right word, for Bitcoin was that, or is that, you can't really go into a store and buy a stick of gum. You can't really go in and buy a thing of water. If it costs $1, if it costs €1, if it costs 25 cents, you can't really buy with it because Bitcoin's network fees are way too high. However, with the Lightning Network, you can send 2 Satoshis and the fee will be 1 Satoshi. Or even if you're buying something for €1 or $1 or a Canadian or whatever, and it comes out to $1, your fee will be a fragment of a fragment of a fragment of 1 cent for an instantaneous payment. It says users will have the option to choose whether they want to use Lightning or not. Logical. Here's the actual chart right here. I didn't make this bigger, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you should all be able to kind of see this in some sort of way. The fees for Lightning are dramatically reduced. The issue has been thus far is that Lightning hasn't really been integrated into anything. And I think that was mainly because it didn't have a lot of attention because people were trying to figure out the custodial part of crypto and trying to figure out how much crypto can be this and if Bitcoin was going to be viable and if Bitcoin was going to be so-and-so. And now that all that's been figured out, they're trying to figure how to make Bitcoin an actual everyday payment option for everyone around the world. And how do you do that? You don't really use the core, that is to say Bitcoin's core, you use Lightning. So deposit speed is 1 to 3 seconds as opposed to 10 to 30 minutes. I've had transactions with Bitcoin take like 20 hours before. That was in 2017, but it's a little bit scary. I'll say that much. Withdrawal speed, 1 to 3 seconds, 10 to 60 minutes. Withdrawal, you can see all this stuff right here. So this is the second cryptocurrency exchange who has announced, I believe the other one was Kraken, if I'm not mistaken, who has announced this. If we get Binance or Coinbase anytime, I don't mean the next month, I don't mean the next 6 months, I don't mean the next year, I mean any time in general, announcing that they're going to be integrating Lightning or allowing people to move coins around with Lightning, that means that Lightning has won. And at that point, the discussion then becomes, when does Bitcoin become an actual used currency? Because we know that Bitcoin has the whole store value thing. We know that Bitcoin can be locked inside of a safe. That's cool. That's wonderful. But if we end up getting to a situation where Bitcoin transactions are instantaneous, I mentioned this all before. People, and I don't know why, love to come out and say, well, Bitcoin's slow. Well, Bitcoin has high transaction fees. Well, Bitcoin, and I told you all before, these are all computers. They can be upgraded and they will be upgraded. The point is that they were trying to figure out how to make Bitcoin strong enough and make sure the network is robust enough that it can't be 51% attacked, that it can't be so-and-so, and so all these other things on the network. And now the topic is, we got that down. We know that institutions are interested. They'll be even more interested if Bitcoin isn't just locked inside of safes and coffers. They'll be more interested when Bitcoin can actually be used as a currency, which it can be used now, but you understand what I'm saying. Here's the actual blog post from OKCoin. It's going to be very interesting. And I'm certain that behind the scenes, the people from Binance and or Coinbase are discussing this, thinking about it, trying to figure out some way to integrate it, because that's it. Like every other, the value prospectus of many other coins completely disappear if Lightning gets integrated everywhere. I even assumed before, when we had Bakkt getting into the cryptocurrency space and Bakkt had partnered with all those different companies, and Starbucks and Nordstrom had announced that they were going to be accepting Bitcoin, my idea was that Lightning would be somehow involved. How else do you get these quick and fast transactions that cost very low? Because no one's paying $15 for a transaction to buy a cup of coffee. They would pay 1/10 of a cent. That's definitely more likely to have an instantaneous, immutable transaction that runs 24 hours a day that has no downtime. Hint, hint. Anyway, very, very fascinating. We'll see if the other big players get into this, but the fact that Lightning is becoming very big is quite huge. Let's move on. And to finish things off, and for some reason this was mega popular news, Tether Limited's Bahama-based bank called Deltec said on Friday that the company's stablecoin is fully backed by reserves, downplaying resurgent fears about the cryptocurrency's integrity. There aren't really resurgent fears. The same people who I see talking about whatchamajaggers, who keep talking about Tether fears, are usually the same people who write XRP articles. XRP's going down. Looks like XRP's in trouble. Looks like so and so and so. It's kind of all the negative things. For those of you who don't know, for those of you who do know, here we go again. Tether is a stablecoin. Got it. Came out in 2017, 16, doesn't really matter. Around 2017, it gained a lot of notoriety. It was a place for people to be able to swap their coins into without having to swap between altcoins and Bitcoin back and forth. The idea was, and no one knows for certain, that as Bitcoin's price would rise, we saw a correlation in the amount of Tether that was being printed. So people started saying, well, it looks like Tether's being printed to start buying up all that Bitcoin. The idea was from Tether, no, it's that there's more interest in Tether from corporations who are giving us money to be able to create more Tether, and therefore this is what's pushing up the Bitcoin's price. No one knows. But as more Tether has begun to enter the market now, we had news, what is it, the number 3 coin is pushing all the other coins out of the way. It was coined like number 15 before. And it's because there's more Tether entering the market. So the fear is that all this Tether is being printed out of thin air, the same exact way that the US dollar is printed to be able to buy up more Bitcoin by Tether, who's secretly trying to become the biggest Bitcoin holders in the world, as opposed to the cryptocurrency space is booming right now, and therefore there must be institutions behind the scenes who are also looking to get into Tether so that they can also make money from the transaction fees from Tether as people are using it. That one seems a little bit more likely, but who knows? That's actually what it is. No one actually knows except for Tether and the companies backing them and the people who did their audit. No one actually knows. There are people who also trade Tether. There are a lot of people who trade like the same exact way that people trade US dollars and euros. There are people who trade stable coins against stable coins. It's their thing. That's how they make money. Apparently they're very successful with it, as the 1% swings, a 1% swing in the market on a $10 million bet is still pretty good. It says every Tether is backed by a reserve, and their reserve is more than what is in circulation. This was said by Gregory Pepin, Deltec Bank Deputy CEO. On the last episode, he said this on Unchained, the podcast that is done by Laura Shin. We can see it firsthand, so I can confirm that. Tether, the company behind Tether, whoa, just punched my desk. Oh my gosh. Has long been accused of lacking of transparency around the coin's backing. Indeed, a Tether lawyer said in 2019, each Tether was only about 74% backed by fiat equivalents. So they've had multiple, I hate this topic. They had multiple, audits done. And the most famous one was this one right here, 74% backed. And it basically came down to, he said that they had cash, but a lot of their other reserves were also Bitcoin, diamonds, and other things like that. Yada, 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 jabba, jabba, jabba. Tether's only getting all the focus because they are the number 3 coin. If it was Coinbase's dollar, people would be doing the exact same thing. And then even if they did show you an audit, people still wouldn't believe it because they go, oh, you're Coinbase, you're terrible, which they kind of are. And then they said all these other things. So this was quite popular news. I'll put it to you this way, and I said this another way in the other video. The people who are getting into the cryptocurrency space, the institutional investors, the big money people, they know if these things are real or not. They're not going to, if they had any indication that Tether had been printed fraudulently for the last 3 years and had been used to buy up Bitcoin, and therefore Bitcoin's price was falsely inflated, they would not be in the market. This coin would not be listed on every major cryptocurrency exchange. I promise you, they've done their own research because it messes with their money. And we're not talking about $3,000-$4,000 that it's messing with. It's messing with their billions that the cryptocurrency exchanges are making, the institutions are making. So rest assured, I'm pretty sure that many people have done the research. Because if Tether had not actually been backed by anything, JP Morgan Chase, Mike Novogratz, Fidelity, New York Stock Exchange backed, Coinbase, Binance, Kraken would have all come forward at some point saying, hey, we have to delist this because something's wrong with it. So once again, we end this discussion. We close the book on Tether because the same exact people who keep writing these articles are the same exact people who keep writing the XRP articles. Anyway, Wait for it. Wait, there we go. Let's moving on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Bolero Bastos, Crayola Michelle, URL, On Crypto with Lionel, Tigger Macho Nisa, Bake Me a Cake, Arfmedic17, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bodie McBoatface, Yes to Crypto, Miller Hitch Test Every Day and Cal Skips Leg Day, Minting Coins, Jeremy Fox, Jim Gardner, Anthony Charles, Nick Mangialavori, Paxis, Vlad the Impaler, Richie Rich 3, Setsuna, Damien, Crypto Artist, Cole D, 3D, Bankroll Network, 242 to the World, Wise Night Owl, Jared Schneider, Master Ventures in Thailand, Moher Moroni, Adam Graysick, Todd Mullis, A Bibliophobia, The Animal Reader, John Sarson, Nostromo, Martin Steuer, Joshua Vineyard, Moonman High, XRP, Utopia 569, Oscar Maldonado, wow, Yasha Harari, Attila the Han, David James, Navarro Williams, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Tolek Banan, Snacky Chan, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, George Montoya, Wiselink, Not TMI, Crypto Stahl, Need a Miracle, Space Case, Troy All Good, Bare Bones Mining, Quoted Biddy, that one's amazing, and Professor Wally from Gunbot University. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. I keep seeing more and more of you every single day. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. Thank you to everyone who left a thumbs up. And thank you to everyone for just being awesome and still being here, if you're still here. I assume you are because you're hearing me right now. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently at $33,247 US. It is up by 1.8%. Ethereum is up to 1,411. It is up by 6.21%. There appears to be a dip, question mark, happening within the market. Not really sure. Don't know what's going on. It's morning. This happens every morning. Yeah, the market's a mess. The market makes no sense. There's no real clear direction for anything. And I assume this Ethereum pump up would have been far more significant if Bitcoin had been doing the exact same thing. But we'll see where the day and the week ends up taking us. Anything crazy? Aave is up by 7. Uniswap is up by 16. Compound's up by almost 12. Smidge below 12. Zcash is up by 3.5. Yeah, all the DeFi coins are pumping again. I assume this has to do with Ethereum moving up as well. And Waves is up by 6.57%. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.